Be a real short show. Been having some internet troubles due to the little bitty ice storm that we've had here. But anyway, here we go. Welcome to the Associated Guest. I, as always, am your host, Alfie Animus, here at the Bear in Mind channel. Today, Walz and Trump have a meeting. The Minnesota police get on it. And is Trump backing down? Let's find out.
Is finally cooperating and working with ICE. This is also another big reason why the 8th Circuit Court has sided with Trump. The panel said that the videos showed much of the protest conduct was not wow. Minnesota.
Thank you. No, most of it's not peaceful. I don't know why they let these overprivileged rich kids tear down cities that most of them don't even live in.
The State Patrol moves in to arrest protesters. Here we go.
You are now under arrest. Please sit down and wait for instruction.
That's right.
I love how excited some of them look.
Also, keep in mind, this is all that had to happen this entire time.
Literally, if Walz and Fry weren't stoking the flames, and if they had allowed their police to be police in their city, none of this would have happened. 100%.
Look at that. That's the only thing that needed to happen.
You have 1 minute to do.
Look at that. That's the only thing that needed to happen.
You have 1 minute to disperse. If you continue to obstruct, resist, or interfere with the police officers, you'll be in violation of Minnesota State statute obstructing a legal process.
So they used an LRAD.
This is a test of the long-range acoustic device LRAD. 1, 2, 3.
And to the 4.
Yeah. Rioters in complete disbelief that the city and state police are arresting them. Panic setting in among the ringleaders as they realize what's coming for them. No-fly lists, debanking, asset seizure, surveillance, informants, pre-dawn raids, federal indictments.
You recognize a few of those from what Trudeau did to the truckers in Canada.
Protesters have stormed outside Tim Walz's office in Minnesota, furious that he's starting to cave to President Trump and Tom Homan. Man. It's too bad, huh? Yep, so they're out there, they're even mad at him. I think that really...
And they should be mad at him. Those two deaths in particular are on Walz's hands, not Trump's. Look, I'll disagree with Trump on plenty. This is not him. You don't see this happening in any other city. Why is that? You don't see the resistance you see from this sore loser, this guy who lost the vice presidential election to Trump.
Really goes to show whether, something was actually positive or not. Oh, this is President Trump called out Tim Walz for doing a complete 180.
Conversation with Governor Tim Walz. This man has suggested that this is a modern-day Gettysburg. He has likened his situation to Anne Frank in the Holocaust. He has said that ICE is your Gestapo
which got him in trouble.
army. And then you guys speak on the phone. I'm fascinated by that conversation.
It couldn't have been a nicer conversation. And
Couldn't have been a nice.
Couldn't have been nice. It couldn't have been a nicer situation. A nice conversation. Not a great Trump impression.
Respect to Minnesota. Respect to Minnesota. It was a very good call, and we actually seem to be on the same wavelength. Is it backing down, or is it part of the strategy? Do you think that President Trump is pulling back? Are you disappointed? Do you think it's 8D chess? What do you think is...
I hope it's 8D chess. So far, he's proven in a lot of things it is, except Epstein.
And then we'll have Nick Shorter on, because there has been quite a bit of confusion over the last 24 hours.
There has been.
You are going to see two camps on what's going on in Minnesota. You will
Not
see
a big camper.
People, the sycophants, who will say that President Trump can do no wrong. This is another art of the deal, period. And most of the time, you can see that at work. For example, clearly know that that is what is happening right now. And if it is, the communication certainly has not been anywhere near as effective or as clear as it has been in past negotiations. So that's one group. The next group is going to be the taco group. Taco Trump. So that's one group. The next group is going to be the taco group. Taco Trump. Chickened out. See? Look, he folded. Which one is correct? We don't really know yet. That's the simple answer. But I will say this. We have millions of people who watch every single day, and so what I've chosen to do is talk as though people in the administration are listening, because I know quite a few are. And we are going to present what we would like to see done. So, is it backing down, or is it part of the strategy? Yesterday, President Trump posted a couple of truths, one regarding Tim Walz. Governor Tim Walz called me with the request to work together with respect to Minnesota. It was a very good call, and we actually seemed to be on the same wavelength. I told Governor Walz that I would have Tom Homan call him, and that we are looking for are any and all criminals that they have in their possession. The governor very respectfully understood that. I don't think that he did understand that, because he's rejected that.
I don't think he understood it because he's not bright.
He was happy that Tom Homan was going to Minnesota, and so am I. And as we hear it, they have some outdoorsy time planned. So that should be, well, hey.
Imagine me and you.
Then a truth regarding Jacob Fry. If I say Frey, just know it's just very hard for me to read his name and not say Frey. So regarding Jacob Fry. Just had a very good telephone conversation with Mayor Jacob Fry. I have to give you his title, otherwise you wouldn't know him. Mayor Jacob Fry of Minneapolis. Lots of progress is being made. Tom Homan will be meeting with him tomorrow in order to continue.
I thought he actually said that
the
until I looked at it.
And we hear that they too have some outdoorsy time. So.
Oh, look at him. He's jacking a horse off.
Okay, and then, of course, we'll get to them claiming victory. By the way, tune in 11 a.m. Eastern. If you're watching, I know you may be watching a clip. We do this live, 11 a.m. Eastern. You know how broadcast used to be done.
Yeah, come hang out with us.
The next piece of information that trickled out yesterday, and we'll have Nick Shorter on to hopefully clarify, was that Border Patrol Chief Greg Bovino had been ousted. So this came from The Atlantic. Gregory Bovino has been removed from his role as Border Patrol Commander at Large and will return to his former job in El Centro, California, where he is expected to retire soon, according to a DHS official and two people with knowledge of the change. The communication hasn't been that great, because then Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt gave kind of a lukewarm pushback, saying, well, no, he's not really being relieved, but we still don't know what that actually is.
I had a question. With Homan now going to Minnesota, is Gregory Bovino also
I'm sorry.
in Minnesota overseeing these ICE officers?
I don't care about this.
That you're hearing from witnesses and video footage versus what the administration has been.
To be
these people are dancing around the same thing. One, who cares? Two, he's fixing to retire, so that's a common thing to happen. So don't care.
Shorter is going to hopefully clarify that, because he was the one who broke the story initially, as I understand it yesterday. What's happening, though, now in Minnesota? Well, you have the Democrats spinning this as a victory. That's not a good thing. Now, here's the thing. I am a big fan of Tom Homan. He's been on the show. He's a friend of the show.
Yeah.
There's no world in which someone says, send in Homan, and I'm upset. I also understand that you cannot let the left smell blood in the water. Where if they can spin it into a victory and they can make it seem like you're scared, well, then we end up with billions of dollars in damages and thousands of casualties in the summer of love and ICE agents being assaulted. So there's nothing wrong with Tom Homan. I think Tom Homan is probably best in any of these scenarios. That's why he has that job. But the Democrats spinning this is Walz less than 2 hours after the truth, where he actually, and can you guys bring, I believe this is this from Walz, or is this from the Wall Street Journal? Someone can let me know. It says,
the Wall Street Journal?
Lying. My state's corrections department honors all immigration detainers. So here's the article, and this is how he wrote it. I know this may seem confusing, but he writes a claim truth, the way we kind of lay out the show.
Wall Street Journal, yeah.
He wrote the claim. The Trump admin claims that 1,369 U.S. citizens are in Minnesota prisons. The truth, our total state prison population is roughly 8,000, and only 207 of them are non-citizen.
That was a lie.
Okay. I need to clarify some numbers, but here's the first one that I can very easily clarify and check.
Is that on my
link
end?
in the description.
Okay.
Here's the truth. Tim Walz knows he's lying. He knows that he's lying because Minnesota's total incarcerated population is over 17,000. About 17,500.
Oh, crap.
So when he says our total state prison population is roughly 8,000, no. The number of incarcerated is 17,500. And then that brings us to DHS.
Let's go.
State prison.
They're saying the same thing. Okay. State prisons, yes, 8,000. Total incarcerated. They're saying two different things. You have to watch out for stuff like this when you're dealing with politics, because they will literally dance around each other with nomenclature.
17,000. About 17,500. No. The number of incarcerated is 17,500. And then that brings us to DHS's actual wording. They didn't say prison population. They said, we are calling on Governor Walz and Mayor Fry to honor the more than 1,360 detainers.
See, even they say Mayor Fry.
Illegal aliens in Minnesota jails. So detainers.
Is it pronounced Fry with an E?
And jail. And other people being held in custody. Tim Walz took that and said, well, you know, I know they're lying because our state prison population. Hold on, not just state prison. Are there any other prisons? Are there any other jails? He knows that he's lying, and he knows that he's misleading you. Mm-hmm. This is what we see going on repeatedly. He also wrote this in the article. I have repeatedly appealed to President Trump to lower the temperature, but he refuses. I fear that his hope is for the tension between ICE agents and the communities they're ransacking to boil over. You know, and he wants you to see more chaos on your TV screens. Protests turn into riots. More people get hurt. Yeah, because that would be so out of character for the people of Minneapolis. Does this, by the way, sound like turning down the temperature?
Donald Trump's modern-day Gestapo is scooping folks up off the streets. This federal occupation of Minnesota long ago stopped being a matter of immigration enforcement.
Gestapo,
campaign of
federal occupation.
Brutality
See.
the people of our state. They're in unmarked vans, wearing masks, being shipped off to foreign torture dungeons. The war that's being waged against Minnesota, you're seeing
Foreign torture dungeons.
ridiculous surge of apparently 2,000 people not coordinating with us that are for a show of the cameras.
Help us create a database of the atrocities against Minnesotans, not just to establish a record for posterity, but to bank evidence for future prosecution.
I don't think any governor in history has had to fight a war against the federal government. No chance to mount a defense.
In history. Come on, dude.
Not even a chance to kiss a loved one goodbye.
And that's not what
Wrapped
you're
up
doing.
by masked agents, shoved into those vans.
Anytime you're arrested for anything, you don't have time to kiss a loved one goodbye. Like, what are we even talking about?
And disappeared. Quit referring to these people as law enforcement.
Quit referring to them as disappeared.
We have law enforcement who do an incredible job.
This person doesn't even know sign language. They're just autistic.
Gestapo, these thugs, unmarked vehicles, torture dungeons.
I mean, both can be true.
Atrocities being committed against Minnesotans. Minnesota is at war with the federal government, and these people are not law enforcement. You tell me if, let's just assume that people believe that. How do you tone down temperatures? Let's just assume that people believe
You start by not saying the shit.
enforcement in unmarked vehicles acting as Gestapo who are at war with Minnesota are taking people to torture dungeons. If I believed that was taking place, I would be waging a civil war. I don't know how they can act as though their own constituents would do any different.
You're digging.
Investment banks
Call.
but physical aid for life.
He spun this as a victory. He posted this on X. He wrote, I spoke with President Trump today and appreciated the conversation.
It's accurate.
Expressed how much Minneapolis has benefited from our immigrant communities and was clear.
The voice.
that my main ask is that Operation Metro Surge needs to end. The president agreed the present situation can't continue. Some federal agents will begin leaving the area tomorrow, and I will continue pushing for the rest involved in this operation to go. So, you combine all of that.
If you will arrest your own criminals, especially illegal criminals, especially the ones that are breaking additional laws other than the one they broke by coming in, all Trump will have to do is go to said prisons and pick them up. But city officials, including judges, have been releasing these, a lot of the time, dangerous criminals into the populace just because they hate Trump. I can't get behind this at all. You're putting your community at risk, and for what? For clout? What does it mean? The illegal community, the ones that are doing the bad thing, will love you. But everyone else, yeah, no one's in here but you thing. Thanks for the, that's actually pretty funny.
And you go, oh, okay, so the victory of Fry and Tim Walz against Gestapo in unmarked vehicles committing atrocities against Minnesotans who are waging war against the people of Minnesota, definitely not law enforcement, whisking them away to torture dungeons.
That's not what's happening.
And so you've
by any
been
metric
beating them off. You've been winning. Well, what do you think happens? Well, of course, you embolden the rioters, but Minnesota is as Minnesota do. Oh,
it's a very pleasant individual.
An emboldened woman. No fear of consequences.
Yeah, just gas them, pepper spray them. It's not going to hurt. It's just going to make them have heavy sniffles. And yes, I have had CS gas. I was in the military.
Continue to obstruct, resist, or interfere with the police officers, you will be in violation of Minnesota State Statute 609.50.
Definitely from Minnesota, this guy.
Just take him to jail.
I'm getting in my car.
Uh,
Getting in my car. Your dick is as small as his.
Oh my gosh, it's so late.
it's always the dick sizes with these
You know what
girls.
would absolutely destroy that woman's self-esteem? Just grab the love handle, go, no Ozempic yet, huh?
Just go.
Let me guess, single?
Your cat's going to eat you.
No, she's plural at this point.
Immediately, by the way. Cats don't even wait. And check all the references. Here's the thing. Facts, they don't exist in a vacuum. Context matters. Who would be at fault, right? If this was happening everywhere, you'd go, oh, okay, well, obviously it's the federal authorities.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's not. It's happening in places like Minnesota. It's not happening in places like Texas or Florida. So to give you an idea, in Minnesota, there's about 100 to 130,000 illegal aliens. In Texas, there's 2 million. Florida, there's 1 to around 1.6 million. Then you look at the deportations. In Minnesota, there's only been 10,000. In Texas, there's been approximately 60,000. Florida, there's been about 23,000. A lot of self-deportations, obviously, which aren't necessarily broken down by...
Which those numbers are being heavily skewed. But even so, Minnesota is getting a lot less deportations because they're being less cooperative. And that's why there's so much more violence there, is because they're pitting their own civilian populace and all these people who have been driven and bused there against ICE agents. And they're telling their police force to stand down and not arrest any of the violent rioters and agitators. There are regular protesters there. They are allowed to do that from the side of the street or in parking lots, but not on the street and not interfering with any federal officer or police investigations or arrest.
State. What does that mean as far as Minnesota's performance? Well, we can look at the total number of ICE incidents. 9 counties accounted for 2/3 of all violent incidents.
Accounted for.
Interesting.
Chicago, LA, and Minneapolis, and they're all anywhere between 20 to 30 incidents. And Minneapolis, obviously, substantially smaller than those places.
Yeah.
And here's the thing.
And none of those places cooperate with ICE, right?
Right.
Oh, maybe there's a through line here.
Right.
Maybe.
So we can now look at the common denominator, right? We go, okay, well, federal authorities, well, there aren't incidents everywhere. And they're doing this wherever it is appropriate, and it seems as though it's happening pretty peacefully, except for a few key... Oh, that's right. We're talking about sanctuary cities. We're talking about governors. We're talking about mayors who are stoking the flames. And I'll bring you to what the end result is, but just for some visual aids, here, compare Minneapolis to how Florida deals with it. They nip it in the bud right away.
This is not Minneapolis. That is not going to end well for you in Florida. But the idea that you're going to assault one of our troopers is unacceptable, and you are going to face consequences as a result of that.
I am not afraid. I am not afraid. I will stand for liberation because I know why I was made.
Why are you being arrested?
Keep singing.
Arrested for peacefully protesting the horrible treatment
For blocking a roadway.
by ICE agents.
Called obstruction.
Love that guy.
And the angry chants
Love
of
it.
protesters as a person was handcuffed on the ground outside of an ICE office in Orlando. Another angle shows the same moment. Dozens of state troopers surrounded the protester and blocked the street.
Shame on you.
Oh, nice. they could have given it a little more pop, but I'm okay with it.
We'll let it go.
Yeah.
So they nip it in the bud. Right? Hey, I'm going to take Tim Walz at his word. Let's cool down temperatures.
Yeah.
Like you can't kick police officers just because they want to arrest you for violating the law.
Over $500 million in damages that the George Floyd riots alone inflicted upon your municipality. Or the COVID fraud, $650 million statewide. Or the Somali fraud, $9 billion statewide. That's a significant chunk of change. So see, not to mention the thousands of casualties, injuries, businesses that will never come back.
Right.
It is not compassionate to let people behave like children. If your child is about to do something dangerous, you tell them to stop and you count to 3. Is it compassionate to not enforce it? They hurt themselves? Now what if they're hurting other people's kids? President Trump cannot back down on Minnesota. He cannot set a tone of capitulation. That will then be a cancer that infects the rest of the country. We have seen what that looks like. We have had to deal with the ramifications. That is exactly what Minnesota, what Minneapolis wants.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
We have to condemn that. We have to make sure that people know it not only will not be rewarded, it will be punished, and it is going to hurt.
And it needs to be. That's what's wrong with a lot of these. That's what's wrong with a lot of these cities, is merely the fact that they're letting a lot of this stuff go unpunished. They're letting people behave however they wish, and they haven't been